An historical drama wraps up the year for graduating students at Brock's Marilyn I. Walker School of Fine and Performing Arts. About 16 students are performing Lac Athabasca, a play that focuses on the human wreckage left behind after a very well-known Canadian tragedy.
I took some water samples from the creek that runs beside Tailings Pond A13 into the river. There's a guy who studied it who says there's a discharge in the creek that's chemically consistent with the tailings in the pond.
For me, I started with this one as soon as I found out what the play was going to be. So I gave it a read through, and then you sort of let it sit for a while, read it again, figure things out. And then over the Christmas break is really where I started to dive into it a lot more, started to come up with my own creative ideas. And then once we hit January, we're back into school again. That's when everybody comes together and it all just explodes from there, really.
Says that there's been so many things going on at the res, so many of them with cancers, rare cancers too, like bile duct cancer. Usually happens only once in every 100,000 people, but they've had 5 cases in a community of 700.
I play Janice and Philippa, and like a lot of my other co-stars, we all play multiple characters because there's so many that our playwright Len wrote for us. So they're thankfully very, very different from each other. Janice is a feisty lab technician, and Phil is a hometown girl from Lac Athabasca, and their stories intertwine in very interesting ways, just like a bunch of the other characters.
Preparing for a role in a play like this takes a bit more than just learning the lines.
So at the beginning of the semester, Jillian and Mark asked us all to do research into specific topics, and I chose PTSD because that's something that both of my characters deal with. And we wanted to make sure that we approached it with the utmost sensitivity that we could, with the knowledge that what we were doing were just people trying to show what real people went through. And we need to approach that with a lot of sensitivity and as honest as we can.
Besides having a role in the play, Naomi Richardson was also the dialect coach for her fellow actors.
So, train station get built first, then the town get built around that.
This play really focuses around Lac Athabasca, which is a New Brunswick town, but also the disasters inspired by Lac Mégantic, which is in Quebec. So I think Jillian wanted somebody who knew the accent, and my mom is from Labrador City, so she knows the Acadian French, and then my dad is from Montreal, so he knows the Quebecois French. So I think somebody who just had an ear for it, and I happened to be the only person in the cast who really knew it that well, so I just offered to do it and kind of landed that position.
The pressure is on for Mark. The award-winning play has only been performed one other time by the playwright's own theater company.
As far as I'm aware, it's the first time it's ever been put on without the playwright's direct input, right? And he's actually coming to see it with a lot of the people who were in the original production. So it's going to be intense having him there, but we hope that we can do it justice, and we hope that he'll enjoy it and see the different possibilities with it.
Lac Athabasca will be performed at Brock's Marilyn I. Walker Theatre. Tickets are only $5 and are available through the First Ontario Performing Arts Centre box office. Reporting for The Source in St. Catharines, I'm Mike Balsom.